Hey guys, this is Massa from the Great White North. Well, I'm glad you are here. I waited a bit long to do this video. My friend from FLS sent me a nice package, and you might know, say like, hey, with FLS. And you might also notice that I'm still renovating my studio. Well, first question, studio, yeah, still quite of a mess. But I had those nice posters that I got from FLS and those cool boxes that I want to show you today. So FLS is a Canadian company that stands for Future Lore Studio. So right now there is two Canadian company making card games. There is a Haunted Castle Studio that makes the amazing Genesis, and there is also this company called Future Lore Studio that is really young. I mean, the first set was released, I believe, 3 weeks ago or something like that. And well, and they are very nice. They sent me some package. Let's have a closer look at all those goodies. It was so many goodies that I had to kind of show the room. Really, thanks a lot for sending me all that. FLS, everything is LS now. LLS, whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna do the booster box in another video, but what I want to show you today, so yeah, I have those, so there is those 8 faction. Let's have a look at those. So you have the, like I was telling you, you have the mythical beast, the dwarf, amazing art by Damian, who do a lot of art for Genesis 2. The warrior, orcs, titan, undead, demon, yeah, and angels. So, and I have the decks for each of those. I want to show you something cool. You see this crest here in gold. It means this is first edition. And when this is finished, there's going to be second edition, and there's going to be silver. No need to rush so much, but so, you know, I want to talk more about what the game is about. But I think let's crack one of those bad boy. Like I say, I will do a giveaway. I will select somebody local and give one of those, and you tell me which one you want, and so we can play with each other. Let's open to look at the deck first. Let's open this thing, and I was waiting to open this for a long time. I'm just a bit busy those days, and yes. All right, I mean, the packaging is amazing. Okay. Yeah, right, it felt a bit, but yeah, so this is exactly the same thing. So there is this little box, and you have, yeah, you have 2 boosters. So yeah, if you make it well, yeah, it should look like that. Very nice display. You have those two decks. I'm gonna show you. I chose Dwarf and Mystical Beast because I like those. We have 2 boosters, and this is kind of the rule of the game. But this is quite succinct. Not, I mean, it gives the main detail, but it doesn't. I think this is not enough to learn how to play. That's just my opinion. So I'm gonna try to have somebody to come to the channel and help us make a video on how to play. So actually, you know, before I open that, I want to crack a booster to show you how a normal booster looks like. And just to talk about rarity, so every booster are like 1 rare. So what happened is twice per box you get a renowned card, which is like the highest tier of, the second highest tier of rarity, and it's foil. And twice per case, and the case is 8 box, so like 1 every 4 boxes, you get an exalted foil card, which is extremely rare. But it's kind of like the same as having a legendary out of a Flesh and Blood. So let's look. So they open very nicely. They have the little like Canada flag here. And I open a booster before I open the starter deck. So I'm gonna explain you after. Like it's those starter deck are very special. So we have the cards here. I like the back of the card. I think this is kind of a vampire / orc. The cut The cut is kind of similar, you know, like we see that in a lot of Genesis cards. I don't know where those are printed and cut. Cutting card is always something very difficult. And let's see how it looks. So, and once I go through this booster, I'm going to show you the playmat at the same time and try to explain you what goes where. So this is a warrior, which means it's a creature. The name is Vindheim, the Hallhouse Drunkard, with an attack of 3, and that's a common. 1 star means it's a common. So attack of 3 means it also have a health of 3. So like when you battle, let's say take 2 damage, it go to an attack of 1, it go to an health of 1, but an attack of 1 too, so it become weaker. But at the end of the round, when you start for your next round, they regain all their health and they regain all their attack. So this symbol here, this is the same as the dwarf symbol. You know where the dwarf symbol is? And yep, dwarf, where are you, my dwarf? So this means this is part of the tribe. And another way to know it is like you see this, they call this a swoop. So there is a white swoop and there is one that has color. Black is for the dwarf. You can see this have a black swoop, and this kind of phoenix have a pink swoop. And I don't know, maybe in the future we're gonna have double swoop kind of thing. So this is a warrior for dwarf, and so if you play it, so you have your warlord here. So if you play dwarf, you have to play this guy. I don't know if there is a second warlord. I think there is only one so far. And you need a veil, and you need a synergy. Those are like the 3 that you really need. And you need a guardian. Well, you don't have to. Guardian is optional. But we're going to see those. Well, if we pull those, or they're in the starter deck too. And the first line here are for your warrior. So if you play warrior, you put it here. You can play 1 warrior per turn. You have a second line that's called unified. This is for all the spells and equipment, things like that. And there is a third line that is called fortified. Not sure if you can see it with a camera like that. I'm going to zoom out. So this line for fortified. And this is for trap card. I don't know if you're going to pull one. But let's say if this guy was fortified, you will play it like that. And you can play any card that is here during your opponent's turn. You can't play them during your turn. So those are traps, those are counter, those are ways to interact with a stack, with your opponent during their turn. So, you know, that's why I was saying it's a bit like Yu-Gi-Oh! So you have really like your warrior here, here's like your spells and equipment and things that have an effect. And the last line is for your traps, fortified, to interact during the opponent's turn. But this is actually a warrior. Those are pretty vanilla cards. Very nice art. This is an orc. So I mean, you can't play both dwarf and orc obviously in the same deck, but this would go here. And then we have a unified card. So unified cards, they go here in the second line, and you know, if those are spells that need to be resolved, then they're gonna go to the discard pile. So it's once per turn, you can target 1 warrior you control, destroy the targeted warrior. Then if you do, you can search your deck for 1 Bounty Realm fortified card, add a search card to your hand. A lot of word here. What do they mean? So bounty card, it means it's a card without affiliation. So it's like a generic card in Flesh and Blood, or it's like an artifact in Magic the Gathering. So this one, you see it's gray, have no affiliation. This is a bounty card, this is a common. And unified, which means it go in this line. Act means it remain active. So those are more like enchantment. So you play that, it go here. You can play, let's stick with our dwarf. It go here, and it stay here until either it's destroyed due to the opponent, or destroyed through its effect. So we say like 1 per turn, we can destroy a warrior to search for a bounty card, which is like a, you know, an artifact or generic card. If this face-up card is destroyed by a card effect, you can search your deck for 1 secret savannah added to your hand. You can only control 1 face-up secret savannah. So you start to see something. There is no mana cost. Like I show you this dwarf. I show you this card, which is pretty neat. You know, you search stuff. If it's destroyed, you can get another one. You don't pay anything. There is no resource per se in this game. The only resource you have is some cards have what is called Bloodborne, and if they are really strong, your hero will lose life, and if your hero is dead, well you lose the game. And showing the hero here, I hope we're gonna pull one, otherwise I will just open one. It have DCM 70. This is how much damage he can withstand. So he starts at 0, and when it's not like he's losing life, he's taking damage. And so if you have some card, you see here like this, say Bloodborne 2, it means to activate it, you lose 2 life, or you take 2 damage. But all the rest, if they don't say Bloodborne, they cost nothing. So you don't have to worry about a curve or anything, and that worries me a tiny bit in terms of how card can be balanced. Like, why not play all the strongest card then? But I guess we will have to see. We will have to test. And, you know, like, for example, this warrior here, they have an attack of 4. Like, that's an angel, but like, why would you play a 3 if you can have a 4? But I guess some cards benefit from having like lower power, or we will have to see. It's just something, you know, to keep in mind. There is no cost. And this is an unco. You see, this is 2-star. The art is really nice. So they are all kind of full art, which is nice. So this would go also first line. And then we have another uncommon. This is from a mythical beast. You see there is the pink whoosh. And this is called Sophie, Sprite of the Thin Squall. This is also warrior. That got the first line. It have Gust. When this warrior enters play, you can target one warrior on the field, return the target warrior to the owner's hand. This is super strong. So one thing I didn't tell you is you can play only one warrior per turn. So if you play something, let's say, remove that, well, you would have to play, obviously, Mystical Beast, but you play this warrior for your turn. You can, so enter the battlefield effect, make it return any warrior to the opponent or to your hand, which means you can really get a strong tempo. So this looks really good. That's really like a Manowar, if for those who know Magic. However, you are limited to 1 per turn, so it's also kind of a time walk / remand. So that looks like a very strong card. And we have a very beautiful card. Wow, this is art from Dimitri Pacitto, and I'm afraid I do not know this artist. I'm very sorry about that. As long as this card, so that's a 45, which means that's going to be on the lower line, that's going to be a trap. As long as this card remains face up on the field, you can deal 1 damage to a target player warlord for each undead warrior destroyed by a Patridge card effect. Or I don't really know what Patridge is, but it says face up, and I know those you play them face down, so let's see how we can turn it. Once per turn, you can target 1 undead warrior on your side of the battlefield and destroy the targeted warrior, deal 1 damage to all warriors on the field. What? You can target 1 undead warrior on your side. Oh yeah, okay, so you sacrifice 1 of your warrior to deal 1 damage to all the warrior on the field. That's very control-ish. I like it. And it's once per turn. I don't know if you can do it during your opponent turn. I really try to learn this game, but I don't know that much. If this card is eradicated, which means like removed from the game, deal or destroy, deal 1 damage to all warrior on the field. So this is kind of really like a control card. So this is act, and act mean if they remain in play, but that's a 45 card, which means, oh, we have a very nice card behind, which means you play it as a trap, and during your opponent you can flip it. That's a very nice trap though. I like that it seems this game have a lot of controlling effect, and you know it make a nice balance. My understanding is like there is among the 8 decks there is maybe 2 that are very control-ish, 2 that are kind of combo-ish, 2 mid-range and 2 aggro, something like that. Then we have a 3-star, which means a rare. So sadly we didn't get a renown or exalted. But you see, this is unified, so that goes on this line. And arm, which means it's an equipment. This This card equips to a hero warrior you control bestow +8 attack to the targeted warrior. The warrior gains blockade, which means this warrior cannot attack. So I didn't open any of this is the warrior class, not the warrior, the hero class. So this you play it and it get equipped and it go directly on or under your beastie. Let's check what else this card does. If this card is in your discard pile, except the turn it was sent, you can target a hero warrior on your side. Equip that card to the target. Oh wow, okay, so you can bring it back. You can only have one warrior equipped with a tall shield from Ancient Storm held at a time. And that brings to another point in this game. So every card you can play 3 of them, except the Renown, which is 4-star, which is the one you get 2 per box. Those you can have only 2, and the Exalted that are only 2 per case, so 1 every 4 boxes, you can play only 1 per deck, and they are very, very powerful. This looks like a nice card. Then we have a token. Well, I guess a token is a token, but at a 5 attack, so that's good, but he blockade, he cannot attack. And then we have, so I guess we get the command, the unco, the rare, and then a token. And then we have one more command here. Manifest up to 3 warrior status. Oh, that's kind of nice. Like you get the token and the card that makes the token. So you manifest 3 of those. Then draw 1 card for each warrior statue on your side of the field. Well, that's good. Like you make 3 of those. And you draw 3 cards, at least. If you control 5 warrior statue after this card effect resolve, deal 2 damage to all other warrior on the field. That's really good. And that's a 45, which means you play that during your opponent turn. And we have one more command here. And that's a unify, which means, you know, that's not a trap, that's something you play during your turn, that's gonna boost you, or that's gonna allow you to search a card, or something like that. And it says, as a cost to play this card, target 3 Orc Bane cards in your discard pile. You see, the name is important. The name include the kind of type of creature you have. Target up to 3 Orc-Bane warrior in your discard pile. Revive the targeted warrior to your side and bestow +1 attack to all warrior revived this way. Destroy all Orc warrior on your side of the field at the end of the turn. Oh wow, that's very interesting. So you bring back 3 orcs, and after that they all die at the end of the turn. So it seems like every card is very powerful, which should make for very like swingy game. So I wanted to show you a booster first, because you're gonna see in those starter decks the cards are very, very different. So the cards themselves are the same, the art is different. And let me see, I have new glasses because I'm not getting younger and now I need glasses. And oh wow, the foiling is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really nice. So this card, the only way to get it is through the starter set. And that's their hero, otherwise you're gonna get a non-foil hero. And once those starter sets are gone, you're not gonna be able to play them anymore. And one more thing is, like, they have tons of ability, and you can either use the magical attack or the physical attack. Every turn you can do both. This magical attack, Arcane Roll Pulse, target 1 warrior on the battlefield, return the targeted warrior to their owner's end. That's very good. That's very tempo. This is a very tempo deck. Physical attack, deal 4 damage. And the special ability, you can do it independently. It have a cooldown 4, which means you play it and then you put a dice, and every turn the dice gonna cool down, and when it's 0 again, you can pay it. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, rearrange the cards in any order, choose, and return them to the top of your deck, draw 1 card. Wow, that's good. But you see, these have Bloodboard 2, so it's gonna do 2 damage to you. Otherwise, the card, the card printing is very nice. Centering is very good. So that's gonna be your warrior. You have, so you see you have this like little like intro card, and it's a limited print run. So I don't know how limited this is, but I would suggest, I mean, if you are like kind of a collector and you want to have stuff, most likely it's something good to have. And then we have the Veil of Gilead. And so you start to see the cards in the starter deck are the same that what you can get in the boosters. However, the art is different. Those are all art drawn by hand. And they can look like kind of childish a bit for some people. It just is a different style. I do like card drawn by hand. At first I was thinking like, well, that's just weird. Like I see the first one and it's like very CG, very. I mean, this is Damian's art. For those who don't know Damian, is a super rock star. He's an amazing artist. And then I was seeing that and I was like, what? But the thing is, those are like really limited edition cards. And when this is done, this is done. So this, your Veil, go here. It starts with, you see, VC3. So you start the game, you have your Warrior, a Veil, and a Synergy card. I'm going to put it already here. So you start with those 3 cards. And the Veil, it starts with a 3 on it. And then at the beginning of the turn, it's going to go to 2, and then next to 1. And after, it's going to flip. And once it flips, your hero is actually in the realm. This is just a pathway to the realm where I come from. So once you pass the realm, then you are there and you get all your power. And it says when this card is revealed, immediately activate the following effect. And you can't do any reaction to that. You can target up to 2 cards on the field, return the targeted card to their respective owner's hand. So like I said, very tempo. So this is like the Dwarf Land, this is a Frost Realm. And until this is flipped, your Warlord cannot do anything, your Synergy card cannot do anything, or if you have a Guardian, it cannot do anything either. So let's see what it does until you flip those. I think it doesn't do that much. At the beginning of each of one of your turn, before you draw, remove 1 Veil. So what I was telling you, you put a dice, 3, 2, 1, boom. If there are no Veil, you flip it. Okay, so they do nothing until you flip them. And the other card that you start with when you play is this one. So that's a Synergy. And I believe there is one for each of the factions. There is one more in the booster pack. So you can choose your strategy. Target X Dwarf Unified cards in your discard pile. So unified, like we talked about. This means like those are like spells or enchantment. And eradicate the targeted cards. So it means you remove them from the play. Bestow, give plus X attack to up to 3 Dwarf Warrior you control until the end of your turn, where X was the amount of unified card irradiated by this effect. Okay, so you see like, this is like a powerful effect that's gonna stay on the table, and you see it have a cooldown of 5. So as soon as the Veil flip, bam, you can activate that. Before you can't, you are not in your realm, you can't really do anything. And then the 5, like you can activate, you don't have to, but you activate that, and then it has a cooldown of 5, so you go to 5. And at the beginning of the turn, everything go 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can activate it again. And then we have, I mean, yeah, those are pretty good. This is all done by the same guy, so the same guy did all the cards. His name is Croskin, and I'm pretty sure he is Canadian. He's from, he's kind of friend with the company that made the game. And so what do we have? I do like the art actually. I thought when I was looking online, I thought it was looking a bit cheesy, but it does look really cool. So this one is an effect. It's called Dwarf Dynamite. You can only play this card if your Dwarf Warlord is Quad Cert. Well, luckily that's the only one we have, so we don't have to worry about that. The Arcane Runemaster, so that's him. If you activate this card when your Veil has not been pierced, which means it's not yet flipped. Pay Bloodborne 10, wow, that costs 10 life. Then pierce the Veil. Oh, you flip it, because once it's flipped, you get 2 of your stronger cards that you can activate, so that's huge. If your Veil has already been pierced, you can target up to 2 cards on the field, return the targeted card to their respect owner's hand. You can only activate this card once per game. That's very strong. Luckily, it's a unified, so you can do it only during your turn. otherwise that would be too much of a blown up. And then we have 3 Kelter Explosive Kit. I know my camera is behaving a tiny bit today. See, those are unified, same you do it during your turn. Bloodborne 6, oh my god, that's so expensive. So it looks like Dwarf is kind of like a lot of tempo, you lose a lot of life, and you try to kill your opponent before they kill you. Search a deck for 1 Blast Forge. We didn't see it yet. Add the search to your hand. If this card is in your discard pile, you can pay Bloodborne 8 and eradicate this card and to target 1 Blast Forge card in your discard pile, as well as 1 card on the field. Add a targeted Blast Forge card to your hand and destroy the other targeted card. Oh, okay. So like this is really to search Blast Forge. I don't know what it does, but you can also play it from your discard pile, but you have to sacrifice 1 card to do it. So I kind of like it. It looks like I want to see what this Blast Forge card does, because it looks like it's something very strong. We have Mining of Minerals. That's just a unified card. What does it say? Target 1 dwarf in your discard pile, shuffle a target in your deck, then search your deck for 1 dwarf 45 card, which is like, a trap card. Add it to your hand. You can only activate 1 per turn. So there are so many like tutor, it seems, and very strong effects that I think the deck is really not like something we saw recently. In the 90s, we had some game like that. In the late 90s, with very strong card, a lot of tutor, not that much random actually. You could really kind of have fun, boom, boom everywhere. It kind of looked like that. We have Into the Collapsed Mind. 3. Oh, so that's nice. Sometimes for starter deck, even though you can play only 3 of one card, they put a lot of them, looking at you, the Ara deck for Flesh and Blood. But it seems here, no, so you get really tons of cards. Your opponent choose 1 random card from your discard pile. If the chosen card is a dwarf, deal damage to your dwarf. Warlord equal to the attack. Conscript the warrior to your side. So it means like you play it. Conscript. If the chosen card is a unified card, you can choose to activate. Alright, so it means you play that, your opponent have to choose 1 card from your discard. They choose the worst. It costs you a lot of life, but 70 seems like it's the biggest of all of them. Oh no, the Phoenix have 80, sorry. Well, some have 80. But yeah, that's good, because like they have to choose something, just you don't have much control of what's going on. The Blast Forge, was it the card that you are supposed to search? Like we saw there was something, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Blast Forge card. Okay, so this is a Blast Forge card. Alright, is it that good? We have 3 of them. Oh, but there are a lot of cards called Blast Forge. There is Into the Blast Forge and Blast Forge Blast Forward. So what does it do? Because we have a lot of cards to search them. When this card is first activated, search your deck for 1 Blast Forge Dwarf Warrior. Place the search warrior on top of your deck once per turn. So that's an act, so it stays, on the battlefield, where everything we saw before, it's just you play it and then it's discarded. Once per turn, if a Blast Forge Dwarf Warrior is conscripted to your side of the field, you can conscript an additional Blast Forge Warrior on from your hand to your side. You can only control 1 Blast Forge, Blast Forward. Okay, so if you have this on here, you can play 2 Dwarf per turn, which is very good. And also when you play it, you can search for 1 dwarf. So that's a really nice card. I want to zoom as much as possible on each of the cards, which make me change the zoom each time, but I think this is just too good. This art is really good. Into the Blast Forge. Each time a Blast Forge Dwarf Warrior is conscripted, we didn't see any yet. Reveal the top card of your deck. If the reveal is a Blast Forge Warrior, you can... Oh, you cast it directly. Wow, nice. If the reveal card is any other card, send the reveal card to your discard. Okay, it's good. You see, like most of them doesn't cost anything. We saw a few that cost a lot of life, but otherwise we didn't see anything. So then we have 3 of those swords. I guess I'm assuming those are equipment, but let's see. I don't see anything here, so it doesn't seem like equipment. They cost 6 life, which is pretty serious. When your opponent activates a 45 card, so like when you do a trap, you can target that 45 card, negate the activation and destroy the target. But so this is a pure counter. Then if you do, you can pay 6 life and target one other card on the battlefield and destroy. Wow, that's just so strong. Then you have a unified card, which is same, thing that you play. So that costs 4 life, pretty expensive. As an additional cost to play this card, discard 1 Blast Force card from your hand, target 1 Blast Force card. Well, okay, so it's all about like you discard card, you get back your dwarf and stuff like that. I mean, this counter looks very scary. And then we have the Black Spark from the Blast Forge. We see a lot of Black Forge. We saw those tutors for Black Forge. As long as the name is in the title, it means it has the kind of sub status and you can look for them. Once per turn, if a Black Forge Dwarf Warrior is conscripted to your side of the field, target one card on the field, return. So yeah, it's all the same. You bounce something. If this card is destroyed by an opponent card effect, because that's act, so it stay here. You can target one card on the field. Oh, so if it's destroyed, you can do it again. One thing I forgot to tell you is that there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for Unify or for Hero or for Fortify. If it's full, you can't play any more of those. They have to be destroyed. Then we have this kind of funky card, Fortified Baragris. So that's a counter. I mean, that's something for defense for during the opponent turn. When this card is first activated, discard 2 cards from your hand. Oh, I don't like it. Once per turn, if one or more cards are returned from the field to the owner's hand this turn, you can draw a card. Oh my gosh! So like you play that and you saw all those cards that we show, they allow you to bounce creatures. Well, you do that and at the same time you draw cards. This is super strong. And that's an act, so that stay on the battlefield. Then we have Radocast, Prayer's Gauntlet, 3 of those. Activate this card only if your Dwarf Warlord is being attacked. So same, that's another trap card. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck and reveal any Dwarf Warrior from among them. Conscript the reveal Dwarf to your side, blah blah blah, then add the rest to your hand. Sweet. So that's a so you pay 2 life, you draw 3 cards. I like it. And you even cast one of those. Oh, this is a very, very good card. Then we have the Blast Shield, still 3 of them. Activate this card. When a target player declares an attack with a warrior with an attack of 4 or more, return a warrior to the target player with a... Oh wow, that's also a very defensive card. Very nice. So it returns, if you attack with somebody big, it returns it. One thing I forgot to tell you is you can't attack, the goal is to destroy the opponent warlord. You can't attack it, them, until you destroy their warrior. So you have to go through them, but you can bounce them. Then we have 1 life, so it must be something kind of cool when it comes into play. Plunder. When this warrior enters the play, the controlling player offers their deck to the opponent to cut. The opponent cuts the deck and the controlling player draws a card from the pile. The deck was cut too. And then return the deck back to its owner. I see. So typically you draw a card, but you're not going to draw a card from the top because your opponent going to cut it. So it's kind of like you play one, you draw a card, but it's not going to be the one on the top, which can be good, which can be bad. It kind of puts the pressure also on the opponent, when they are choosing which card to give you. What? This one does exactly the same. So it looks like every card does a lot of things, even when they are free. This is another one that costs 1. Retrieve. So actually, a lot of those cards, the dwarf, it looks like they do something when they come into play. So it might be good to bounce one of your guys instead of bouncing one of their guys. When this warrior enters the play, the controlling player targets 1 unify or fortify card in their discard pile and adds that target to their hand. Very nice. Very nice. And then we have some... This is kind of vanilla. I mean, it has no text. Attack for 2 is a vanilla that attack for 3, a vanilla that attack for 4, a vanilla that attack for 5. And then we have... I don't know, maybe those are like... maybe rare or something, because we have only 1 of those. Dismantle, that's this is a card that I do know that's a very good counter. At the cost to play this card, you cannot draw on your next reinforce phase, so that's you draw 1 card per turn. Negate the activation of 1 fortify card on the field and destroy it. So that's a super strong counter card. I don't know how rare it is, and you see the swoop is great, which means you can play it with any deck. This card is also very strong. Severed Connection. Target 145 card on the field, destroy the targeted card. And I'm assuming it's okay even if it's flipped, on the back or on the front. So those are like, I think those are really key cards. Just not knowing the game at all and just doing big assumption. This allow you to counter something, and this allow you to destroy one of the trap. And then we have Second Chance. Target one warrior on your discard pile and revive it. That look like pretty bunker to me. And then we have Pick Up the Power. Target one warrior on the field. Then target one warrior on the discard pile. Increase the attack of the target warrior equal to the attack of the warrior in your discard. Deflect. As an additional cost to play this card, discard one card, negate the activation of one unified card on the field and destroy it. That's a force of will, my friend. So I would keep it for sure. Oh, I like those cards. I wish there was more of those. Basic turn structure, countdown phase, reinforce phase. So countdown is you remove, dice from your realm and stuff like that. A reinforce phase is when you cast stuff. No, that's when you draw stuff. And like all the upkeep kind of thing. War phase is when you attack, when you play card, you do whatever you want. And end phase. Very nice. And then we have an ad card. Rabbit Land available now. And if you want some, let me know. I don't know if there is enough player right now to play the game. But if there is enough interest, really let me know. So Bountiful Harvest is coming, I believe, in February, and a very nice poster that I showed you at the beginning. And the next set, I think, is coming like in July. I'm a bit worried when I see so many sets coming so fast, but we'll see. So yeah, I wanted to show you a booster first because those cards that you can see here are normal, but just they are the same card, but the art is completely different, and this is a very limited print. So those cards will hold value. This foil will hold value. Tell me in the comment below if you want to learn more. I was planning to do more in January about this, but if you want to learn more about that, let me know, and maybe during the holiday I can play some games and teach you how to play. Ideally, I will learn how to play. So yeah, it was really, I wanted to thank you so much, FLS, to send me all that. I think anybody in Canada or anybody that tried to do something kind of different and with a different point of view, I really applaud those initiatives, and I want to support those companies. I really want to be the guy online, the guy on YouTube that really help the small company try to do something. Try to stick with your idea, stick with your conviction, and there are several companies like that. But like, stick to what you want to. Don't follow the siren of NFTs and making tons of money. Just try to make the game you always wanted to do, and let's see where it goes. And on this note, see you next time.